Andyland's Endacopia has been described as Pajama Sam meets Petscop, with the creator himself viewing the game similar to something like a fidget cube or a bop it. A game with many puzzles and gizmos attached to it that are going to interact differently when attacking it from different angles. The game is built around encouraging you to explore different combinations of interactions, but mostly to just fiddle around and have fun with it. Everything in the room can be interacted with silly additional animations, encouraging you to explore around as much as possible. Additionally, the pre-rendered graphics and the way the game will sort of zoom in for these little cutscenes are also inspired by that older era of point and clicks. It's fairly short, but this horror adventure has a fair number of references, Easter eggs, and secrets sprinkled throughout. While there's a bit of jumping around, I can more or less show those off in the order they're introduced in-game, starting at the very top. The entire How Are You Feeling status system is a reference to How Did You Do in PE Today? A meme that includes one overly dramatic, harrowing emoji. If you skip past the tutorial, Mello will comment that there appeared to be more pages to those instructions. Andy has said that the combination of colors in the room as well as the design itself of a clock with a face on it is meant to be reminiscent of this old children's toy. And we can see that this takes place in 2002. If you try to talk to this light 4 times, it goes through random scrambled chipmunky gibberish to this freaky, slow-mo, ominous effect. And now feels like a good time to share. If you're a fan of Endacopia and Andyland's work in general, then please do take a look at Picayune Dreams. Around the middle of last year, I contracted Andyland, Stepford, and Melky Possum to create a game. They've been hard at work the last 6 months, and this bullet heaven meets bullet hell action roguelike is what they've created. I'm sure you'll recognize the stylings of Andy's pre-rendered freaky designs. Fight challenging bosses, try out insanely overpowered builds, bang your head to this intense breakcore soundtrack, and keep an eye out for secrets in this demo as well. This is available for you to play on Steam right now. There will be links down below. Please add it to your wishlist as it helps us out so much. It's an honor to be working with Andy and the rest of this team, and it's been really fun as a fan to go digging into Andy's other projects like this. So, let's get back to Endacopia. In the corner here, you can actually play with the soccer ball and play a version of Kick-Ups, which would both be a game you can legitimately just play around outside, and was a relatively popular subgenre of Flash game back in the day. I always find it hard to get this thing going. The timing of it is very precise, but once you're in a rhythm, I actually close my eyes and try to go into a bit of a metronome state and just try to keep a steady rhythm going. Around the 10th kick, a bit of music starts to build in the background before the lights drop out entirely and we get into a fugue state of soccer, playing a secret song encouraging us to keep kicking and aiming for 100. At 50, you'll have a medal appear on the wall, and the lyrics start up. And 100 has a big celebration for you. And in what appears to be just a complete 100% troll move, the tempo of this song is not even close to what you actually need to keep the ball up. When you attempt to talk to your painting, you can hear a muffled reply from behind, hinting at the fact that you can inspect this painting and see this freaky thing waiting behind. This absolutely horrific creature is fully inspired by these old face coin banks. The real-life version of these things is incredibly creepy already, so using it in this horror-esque game was a pretty good fit. Macro tough doors, obviously it's Microsoft, and you can tell by this startup screen that it's meant to be Windows XP. Copy left instead of copy right. Corp poo poo, that was less of anything specific, it's just kind of ridiculous. But doors instead of windows, that really cracks me up. It even has the old Bliss background, which is sometimes considered the single most seen image on the planet with the sheer number of people who had Microsoft Windows. I think I've brought up this specific background in like 2 or 3 prior reference-based videos. It comes up a lot for people who grew up in that era. The question mark gif, I believe, is a reference to old gags that existed online that played up the fact that things took more than 1/9 of a second to load. Click on a picture of a sexy lady and bam, jump scare out of nowhere. This truck seems to indicate that we were discarded and abandoned at this home, now being guarded or held here against our will by Henry, seen here simply palming Mello like a basketball. Having one of these cross-section cutaways in anything always makes me think of The Simpsons, because it was kind of a common running gag there. But I think it's become sort of an in-joke. Artists will include it basically anytime they can, and I especially love that this one has like a incorrectly sized cow, some dinosaur bones. I swear these just look like old bananas, but I assume that's not what it's meant to be. This little tiny human, which opens up some concerning questions, but then we also have the full-sized, sexy-posed skeleton. I'm just a big fan of it. This creature in the toilet mentions us getting bonked on the head by Henry, and on our computer we have a file where we're counting the number of days he's been here, or potentially the number of times he's been bashed in the head by Henry, seeing as things look a little concave there. If you're either too slow to hide or rat out where Mello is hiding as the world's worst guardian angel, then Henry pulls them out, gives Mello a bonk, and the game cuts back to our room, playing it off that it's something that Mello had imagined, an intrusive thought. If you don't tell Henry where Mello is, they get impatient. Today, Junior. But I think from there you can just leave it indefinitely, there aren't further interactions there. The character that pops out of this Jack-in-the-Box is actually Doopy the cat from one of Andyland's old animations. In this refrigerator lock that's a series of small puzzles, this little guy is meant to be a reference to old tissue ghosts that kids would make as basic arts and crafts. When you interact with this little painting on the wall, a short Tetris-like game plays out. The snail racing picture could be a reference to Undertale, but it's also just kind of a funny gag to have a racing snail, so that could just be a little bit of a convergent joke there. At the end of this lineup of dominoes, we have a lemming who gets crushed, but it's a fairly direct reference to that old series, which commonly resulted in these lemmings getting killed. This little egg in the top left is actually Gulp. From Pajama Sam 3, you are what you eat from your head to your feet. He's just a little egg friend, and here he's eating a box full of french fries, I think? If you try and talk to Tip from a distance, come talk to my face. Normally in these branching dialogues, you can explore every possible answer, but in an instance like this, where you only get one opportunity, I'll quickly rifle off the different possibilities. If you say no, well, you should learn to. It's a good thing I have a mouth to yell at you with. If we say yes, yes, well, start acting like it. It's a good thing I have a mouth to yell at you with. Say it wasn't you. How silly of me. Let me take a look at who else could have done it. Oh, wait. You're the only one in this hallway. Say you couldn't help it. Sigh, you definitely need my help. It's a good thing I have a mouth to yell at you with. Seems to me like he decided he was gonna yell at us prior to what we chose to say. And if you tell Tip that you prefer mouthless signs, he just bails entirely. That hurt. It really did. I guess not all people deserve tips from Tip. You can leave and come back, and you then need to apologize. I'm sorry about what I said. Really? Yeah. So you like signs with mouths? I guess. Apology accepted. When Clocky jumps out of the wall to face you, they use a text-to-speech application with a Korean accent.
Your time is over.
And the battle itself is meant to play out like a first-person perspective version of Punch-Out! I mean, it kind of messes me up that I think we straight up kill Clocky in that battle. Although Mello doesn't seem to actually mind at all. Like, the character's seemingly just instantly rotting on the ground and we're just here throwing out taunts? Mello is not so chill, but definitely cold. If you allow yourself to be pulled away by this tentacle, your head is ripped off. Or if you lose in the fight to Clocky, you are cut vertically in half. But in general, this black cutscene with a spotlight shone on a wooden floor is meant to be a direct reference to the Bubsy 3D game over screen. You can choose to play again, a good thing that didn't happen. The password being Cheshire is functional in the sense that you would never actually guess it, but it's meant to tie into Alice in Wonderland. Except instead of going down the rabbit hole, we're going down a literal toilet. We are then taken to the end of the demo where the creator Andyland is sitting waiting for us. Hey there, how's it going so far? There are 3 possible replies you can give him. If you say, I'm having fun. Yes, I'm really happy to hear that. Sadly, this is as far as you can go for now. However, if you'd like this to be a complete experience, you can always support me through Endacopia's Kickstarter. And you know, there's like rewards and things. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Hope to see you soon, okay? Toodles! And the game closes and the Kickstarter page opens. It's okay. I see. Would you like to send me some feedback on your experience so far? If you select no, gotcha. Either way, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to give this a try. Bye-bye for now. And the game closes same as it would when completing it otherwise. The game is not good. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. And then Andy's just left sad. I get it. This game certainly isn't for everyone. Thanks for giving it a try, though. You want to see a funny video? Nah. Tough crowd. Well, gotta get back to work now. Have a good one. Alternatively, you can say yes, you do want to see a funny video. Me too. Well, gotta get back to work now. Have a nice day. And a link opens to a YouTube short of a cat gagging at yogurt. Okay, it's actually my first time seeing that. It's absurd. I legitimately laughed out loud. If when playing the game, you come straight to the bathroom and enter the password without having gone through the proper steps, this toilet monster kind of chastises us. Something's wrong here. You weren't supposed to know that. Lucky guess? Haha, that's rich. Well, good for you then. Where you're going, you'll need plenty of luck. And we still get taken away. However, the end scene with Andy still plays out the same, asking how things are going. I looked it up on my computer. Well, that's no fun. You might as well go watch other people play games on that computer of yours. Is that what you like? Others having fun for you? Here, why don't I take the wheel? At which point, he actually controls Mello and starts moving them around the screen. The mouse kind of starts bugging out as well. On second thought, I'm having fun myself. I genuinely just really love the song that plays during this sequence. I think it sounds like a kazoo. It's just kind of great. Okay, I'm bored. Wait, I have a fun idea. Here, kitty. Look at me, I'm a silly doo-doo head. Oh my goodness, where is the cheese? I can't find it. Am I supposed to go in here? Where are the WASD keys? I can't read. I'm playing a game and I don't read. I think that's enough. That was a bit much, don't you think? You're right. I guess that's what happens when you use your brain. There's a bit of a running gag earlier in the game that Mello can't read, and so having the character just kind of robotically repeating that over and over again is pulling from one of the few personality traits we've been given. This isn't my first time. Oh, then by all means proceed, oh mighty history repeater. And here, this time, I'll say I just loved the reveal of these eyes behind the toilet lid. When returning to this area, this picture that had previously been following you with its eyes is now knocked out and you can climb inside. As well as both just being incredibly clever, these fridge magnets rearranging into the eyes they see is directing us towards this painting. I think most people would have found this on their playthrough. There's no real missable dialogue here, but I'm going to let the song play out because it has fairly important story implications. The song that this character sings is all about saving the world through various procedures, a genius ahead of their time. Trying to do so for their bride? The surgeon directly confirms that they made Clocky, so we can kind of assume that they may have made Henry as well. I also just have to laugh at the idea that Clocky likes to watch. Just a very clever play on words there. Asking the surgeon about their bride after the wonderful song provides the hint underground. The Kickstarter campaign actually directly hinted at the light bulbs being significant for finding secrets. These few small hints are all pointing us towards interacting with this trio of light bulbs in the hallway. You have to interact with them enough times until their dialogues start to sound individually like underground. We are then granted access to the secret area and are pulled down below. Well, underground, more accurately. I'm trying to talk, but nothing comes out. I can't see anything. I'm feeling cold. And in our inventory, we will find a candle. There's something warm on my head. In this underground dark world, there are different objects scattered around, each of which can be interacted with for a unique picture. The comb has this pair of freaky children fused together being combed, which is going to tie directly into the surgeon's song about mushing two people together. When approaching this spare sock, we see a pair of bloodied legs in a bathtub. Interacting with the teeth has this freaky image of mouths inside of mouths inside of mouths. It's kind of just uncomfortable. We can faintly see a hand in the background. Off to the left here, we can see a silhouette turned 90 degrees that includes faces going in opposite directions. And for the freaky photo hidden over here, there's some twisted bit of anatomy with limbs on top of limbs and things pulled apart. I honestly can't read these. I think robotics in abdominal room surgery setup. Presumably all notes taken by the surgeon. A blank journal of some kind, but there don't appear to be any pictures associated with this one. And a set of elevator doors, which if we stand next to with the candle on our head will slowly fill up, allowing us to then walk through and find this body dangling in an empty space. You're able to slowly, distantly approach for a closer look, for some absolute, utter nightmare fuel for a game that's been low-key horror up to this point. Clicking on this tormented body. On the fourth click, things start to stutter and bug out, and on the fifth, ending with a black screen, a laugh, and a hard closure of the game. And there is a crash report that is generated alongside this, which includes a binary error code. Translating this binary results in, "Oh Lord, we love how you suffer." It's a relatively short demo, but there is already a lot in here. That is everything to be found in the current Endacopia demo. I'm so excited to see what comes next. But in the meantime, you all can pick up and start playing Picayune Dreams instead. Please do go add that to your wishlist to support myself, Andy, the channel, and more. I've seen comments elsewhere around the web that people are worried that Andy is working on these two games at the same time. Endacopia was started way before. There was then some downtime where he was able to chip away at Picayune Dreams. He is such an efficient and effective artist that he got way ahead of what we were doing, and could then bring his attention back around to Endacopia. Now that that game is fully funded and has a target release of October 2024, whereas we're hoping closer to something like mid-2023 for Picayune Dreams, he'll have plenty of opportunity to work on the projects one at a time back and forth wherever his attention is most needed in the moment. He's a very productive individual, and I have no concerns that he'll be able to deliver on both of these projects.
Lots of candy. Whoopee! Yeah, and play my game. It's down below. No link. So, been working on it for a while. Okay, yeah, bye.